Find out how it feels to actually be a wizard of the elements. Also find out why I thought it was a good idea to run around in an underground labyrinth in the pitch dark. All today on Locked On. Voidwalker is a game created by Super T Studios. It is a first-person puzzle and exploration game with groundbreaking new spellcrafting system. I really dove into this game the moment I got my hands on it. If you really wanted to compare it to any other game, you can pretty much call it an up-and-coming 3D Magica. Voidwalker goes along the same aspect, but takes it into the 3D realm. Just running through the game and trying out the aspects of the spells that they give you, it already tells me that there's going to be more than just the spells that they give you. Right now they have three. They have entropy, fire, and earth are the three elements they give you to play with. And you can tell there's many more slots for more to come as the game develops. Right now, it's just in a very early alpha stage. In fact, they only have a small demo for you to play. But even though I say a small demo, there is a lot to do in the demo itself, ranging from testing out each and every spell that you can conjure up to actually solving a bunch of puzzles that they have in the game. And the puzzles range in an array of different kinds of things. From actually figuring out that you can set things on fire to continue on with your quest, to creating large boulders to actually knock things out of the way, to even use one of your spells to reveal hidden messages to actually get through a specific puzzle quest. And it's very unique in what it does. The game itself, is, for such an early stage, is actually really pretty. The graphics are really pretty for this level of where the game is. I mean, we're not talking Crisis 3 or Eve level graphics by any stretch of the imagination, but considering it's in the early stages of its alpha, it is actually a really well done game artistically. The gameplay itself is really basic. Your WASD to move and your shift to sprint and all that good stuff. But the real cream of the crop is when you start putting those spells together. First thing you do is you choose one of the three spells: entropy, fire, or rock, or whatever the names of those spells are. I can't remember them because it was a brief glimpse at the book at the end of the game, but once you play the demo, you understand. You pick your first spell, and then you pick the intensity of the spell and the size of the projectile that you'll use. The left side is the power, the right side is the actual projectile. And you can go from anywhere to casting a giant torrent of flame to an itty-bitty beam of fire, ranging from a giant boulder to an easy little wind of dust to blow out. And you combine all those things to create your spells. And like I said, there's only three spells, but you get to do so many different things with these spells. It's incredible for such an early stage of the game. There's no official release date for this game, but like I said, the demo is live. If you would like to try out the demo, I have a link to the demo in the description below. It's going to be a really fun game once it's completely developed. I have no doubt that when you get to actually see more spells and more elements, more aspects to actually come to light, I have no doubt that the combinations are going to be incredible. And speaking of combinations, I really hope they get to the point where you can actually combine spell types. Because right now you can only pick a spell type and then choose the power and the projectile that you use. So for right now, for what it is, Voidwalker is a really awesome up-and-coming indie game, and you guys should also keep your eyes out for it. Links in the description below, so make sure you go check it out after this video. But we're not done yet. We're about to dive into the depths of a dark and ominous labyrinth and scream like a little girl. Next up, Vanish. One of my guilty pleasures when it comes to video games is scary games. For some reason, I just love the aspect of something scaring the living daylights out of me. Some of my favorite games out there are actually Amnesia: The Dark Descent, the first-person shooter Fear, the first one. I haven't played the other ones yet. And now, one of my growing dirty pleasures, if I may, is the new indie game in development called Vanish. If you've ever played any game like the Amnesia: The Dark Descent, where it's just a immersive, ambiotic, scare the crap out of you with every little noise that happens kind of game, if you've played that kind of game, you're going to absolutely love Vanish. It has been developed by 3 Drunk Men, which is the name of the company, or the developer, if I may be so frank. And it was released back in June, on the 30th. Right now, it's in alpha stage version 0.2. They've already had one update to the original game. It is a complete first-person immersion adventure survival horror game. The synopsis is you wake up and you're in this underground network of tunnels, so to speak, that they like to describe it as a labyrinth. To me, it just looks like when I close my eyes and I imagine the undergrounds of London, this is what I think it is. Just a bunch of corridors going left and right, and really, you're going to get lost. It's an easy game to get lost in. But that's what makes this game really unique. The things that really make it unique are a few things. One, you only have 2 forms of lighting. There's little light bulbs on the side of the wall that appear every so often as you're walking, and you have very faint glow stick, like literally a glow stick you get at a rave. That's all you have for lighting. So it is a very, very, very dark game. Very dark game, especially when you're walking around and the light decides to explode and go out, and you're sitting there in the dark crying like a little girl, like I was when I was playing this game. The other footage you're seeing is me actually playing the game. It's me actually going through and experimenting with it so you guys can laugh at my misfortune. And let me tell you what, when I first ran into the creature, I froze. I literally did not know what to do because I didn't know it was actually going to try to kill me. Because when I looked at it, it was squatted down. It stood up. It looked like it gave me a little bow. Like it was like, oh, how you doing, buddy? Next thing you know, he gets on all fours, starts chasing me. And they actually have a very intelligent AI when it comes to these little boogers. Because the first bad sign I saw on the wall, written in chalk, says, don't look back. Because the moment you pass an area, from what I could tell, these creatures just showed up 2 frames, like 2 areas behind. So if you go back 2 lights, you run into one of these things. And they're gruesome. And they're very fast. I think with the sprint, I was able to get away a couple of times, but these boogers are smart. Because the way you go through it, there's just so many corridors you can go through. Left, right, across, under, around. And there's even little tight corridors that you can squat down and go through. And there's so many ways to get lost and get turned around. I can't tell you how many times I was running around and I accidentally ran into one of these things. And then you think you got away from it, and the next thing you know, you hear them cackling around you. And you think you're going the wrong way, so they made me turn around. I thought I was running towards one. And I ran back into the darkness. Next thing I know, oh, I'm dead. So this game will scare the living mess out of you, but you will have a blast doing it. And considering how early in the alpha it is, I have high expectations for this game. This game is kind of a mixture of a couple of games from what I've seen. It's Slender Man meets Amnesia, and that's pretty much all you need, to be completely honest, because you walk around and you see little pieces of paper on the wall from this guy named Phil. I don't know, there's no real story to the game yet. It's basically just go in here, try the game, and see if anything breaks. And it's just great the way they scare you. The jump scares are almost constant. Like you're walking around and then a pipe will blow off the wall and make you jump, or you're walking around, the light will go out and electricity will start shocking everywhere. And you walked past one point and you could have sworn you saw water trickling, but if you go back the next time, it's steam blowing. Like there's so many things that make you think that the world around you is actually changing. And it's an amazing little attempt at a immersive, scary game. So if that's your cup of tea, make sure you hit the link below and go try out the alpha, give them some feedback. They really enjoy watching Let's Plays. So make sure you go give them a link to your Let's Play if you decide to try it out and see how far you can get in the labyrinth of Vanish. And that'll wrap things up for us today here on Locked On. Make sure you hit the subscribe button above. Make sure you go check out the games that we talked about listed below. And make sure you come back next time for all things indie. I'm your boy Raven, and you are officially Locked On.